Welcome to my 5th Harry Potter review. I'm John Barry, and today I'm reviewing Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. My question for you today is, what did you think of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban? My review of the film adaptation will be out later today, and if you have not yet seen my review for the first two Harry Potter books and films, please follow the playlist linked in the cards. To begin with, I was pretty sure I would enjoy this book when I made the decision to read it, and I was correct. Now, I do want to say that I was mostly aware of the story and the story of the rest of the Harry Potter books, therefore I did not feel any real suspense as a reader who would have never previously heard the story of Harry Potter. But an important difference is that I did not remember really well Professor Lupin's loyalties lie, and that provided me with some nice suspense. As with the first two books, I found the book to be engaging and it left me wanting more, which, as I stated in my previous reviews, is something I think is important for any book. As such, I have decided to give Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban 3.5 stars out of 5. I would have given it 4 stars if I was actually coming to the story fresh. Now let's go on to my other thoughts regarding Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So, I did like how they finally have a effective defense against the dark arts teacher at Hogwarts, somebody who knows his stuff. And though I gotta say, probably Professor Lupin, him knowing the stuff, is kind of involved in the fact that he essentially needs to use defense against the dark arts to on himself all the time, because with him being, well, spoiler I can say, obviously, a werewolf. And I liked how so much of the world building that's included in here, how Lupin, Sirius Black, Harry Potter's father, James Potter, and then also, oh man, why can't I remember his name? Where was it? Okay, what I'm sorry about this. I'm trying to remember the name. Peter Pettigrew. Like, all went to Hogwarts at the same time and were friends. And all that going on. Like, building the world and how they created the Marauders map. And then, of course, how Peter Pettigrew betrayed the Potters and faked his own death, and got Sirius blamed for it, and etc., and then hiding out as a rat. So yeah, I did kind of like some good world building. Like, I do wonder, like, how many of these story beats J.K. Rowling had planned out from the beginning. Like, did you know that Azkaban was actually Peter Pettigrew when she started writing? Or did she have another way of it in mind? Like, I would be interested to know about how much of this does she have planned, because excellent world building, taking elements from previous books that we probably would, like, think not much of, and really expanding them now in this book. I wonder, like, how much of that was planned, because it's obvious that when she started writing Harry Potter, she pretty much intended it to tell a 7 stories with 7 books. I think that's fairly consistent, because the first book's not Harry Potter. It's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone, depending on where in the English-speaking world you are, but that's besides the point. And also the fact that, year 1. So I think it was always intended to be multiple installments. But I am interested in how much of that was actually planned out. I would say probably some pretty broad story beats, like Harry Potter learns he's a wizard. Then there's a Chamber of Secrets at Hogwarts, or maybe not Chamber of Secrets. Like kind of some broad story beats where how you could easily describe. Got Philosopher's Stone. Harry Potter discovers he's a wizard, and he has to search for some important object to prevent it from being used to revive the person who killed his parents. And then Chamber of Secrets, I say in broad strokes, you can say Harry Potter's second year at Hogwarts, and he has to uncover a secret about Hogwarts past. Like very broad stuff, like, but how much of this finer detail was not planned out, or was or wasn't planned out? Because that stuff is always kind of interesting for me. Really help know with the lore building and world building involved. I would say probably a little bit of both, some planning, some not. But you can never tell. But I like how it took some smaller elements from previous books and included in here, and building off other elements like how the owl for Ron Weasley's family is old and not super reliable, and then how at the very end the owl that Sirius Black used to send Harry a letter he gifted to Ron, like Sirius Black doing that, like kind of building off of what we already know, and I really do like that. Fits in my opinion, very nicely. And like, just there's so much other stuff in here that building off of. I could probably keep on talking. I really haven't talked too much about the story actually as a whole, but that's mainly because I am more fascinated in how this book really continues on the world building involved in all that. And then of course the Dementors are introduced in this book, and they're just creepy. Gotta say that. And you can see why Dumbledore does not like them in this book, and why probably really nobody does. And then of course introduction and Patronus, and really explain more about the Animagus being able to turn into animals. And so far pretty much the only example we actually knew of in Harry Potter was Professor McGonagall, but we really did not learn much about that till now. And then of course I also really liked how it connected in here that the flying motorcycle that Hagrid used to deliver baby Harry Potter to the Harry Potter's Muggle relatives was my motorcycle. Sorry about that, my sword dried up. Was the same motorcycle that Sirius Black owned. So I just kind of like that world building thing, and all of that, and then how essentially everything we knew about Sirius Black being built up, that was built up in this book, we end up learning was pretty much totally incorrect, except for the one mention that he was Harry's godfather. Like, that's the only thing that was not turned around in this book. So I really do appreciate that a lot. No, maybe not appreciate, but really enjoy that. Because like total reversal character, but also. No, they say he's relatively same for a person who was in Azkaban. Well, when you look at what, especially near the end of the book, he did go a little bit crazy. But probably more than anything was more anger, and became crazy with that, and decided to get revenge on Peter Pettigrew for framing him, which is quite understandable. And those emotions is what kept him sane. So essentially, his anger and madness at Peter Pettigrew, and maybe slight insanity regarding an obsession for revenge, is what kept him sane. Which is quite interesting, but when you get those Dementors that are just creepy, as they were obviously intended, it does make a little sense. And I just want to say this. I think Harry Potter has probably one of the more realistic interpretations of what wizards would be like if they were real in the real world. I feel like one of the more realistic ones, but that's going to be a separate video, but I just wanted to bring this up. I wanted to bring this up before I conclude this video, but as I said, that deserves a full video on its own, so expect that once I finish my reviews for all the Harry Potter books and material. Thank you for watching my review of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. If you enjoyed my review, please like the video and subscribe to my channel for future content. Also, ring the bell to be notified of when the rest of my Harry Potter reviews come out. Also, consider following me on social media and supporting me on Patreon for extra and early content. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. Have a good one.